Welcome. Today we're going to look at some Roman numerals for labeling chords. This sounds way more complex than it is. We're going to keep it super simple. So if you don't know any Roman numerals, the only ones you need to know for today are I and V. So we're going to have a lowercase I and an uppercase I, and then a V. That's it. That's all you need to understand for now. The I in Roman numerals means 1. Lowercase also means 1. It's just used differently in music theory. And the V means 5. So when we see an uppercase I, we're talking about the one chord, and it's uppercase, so that means it's major. And the lowercase is still the one chord, but it's minor. And then the V, or the 5 chord, is major in both keys for most of the time, so that's why we're sticking with just the uppercase for now. So let's look at some of these as an example on the piano. So if you haven't understood so far when I've been saying 1 chord and 5 chord, don't worry, it's not complicated. The 1 chord in C major is C major. And if we just go up the scale like this is how we're labeling the chords. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5. So when we talk about the 5 chord, there it is in C major. It's just on the 5th note of the scale. What is that chord? Let's look at that in minor. So A minor, this we would show with a lowercase I. And there's the 5 chord. That sharpened note there is the sharpened 7th from the harmonic minor scale. If you're wondering where that came from, if you weren't curious about it, don't worry. But most of the time, even a minor key, we use the major 5 chord. Let's look at another example. Let's try G flat major or F sharp major. That's the 1 chord. Uppercase I because it's major. And that's the 5 chord. If we had E flat minor, that's the 1 chord, lowercase I, and the 5 chord. So that's it. You can keep it super simple for now with just those 2 Roman numerals. If you're wondering why I've picked out those 2, then I've got a bonus little assignment for you. I want you to take out a piece that you've studied before, maybe one you've never seen. You could do this a few times. If it's an old piece, or maybe it's a photocopy that you use for rough work, then you can colour directly on it. If not, maybe get a piece of tracing paper that you can put over the top to do this. And I want you to pick a colour for your 1 chord, let's say red, and colour in the parts of the piece where it uses the 1 chord, the I chord. And then pick another colour, let's say green, for 5, and colour in those parts of the piece. You may start to see, especially if you do this on a few pieces, that a lot of pieces are 1 and 5 chords. They make up a really large portion of many pieces, and especially pop songs, but even classical music. So that's why we've started with those 2. It's also because the 5 and 1 combination is really the driving force behind the harmony in a lot of pieces. So it's really useful ones to start to pick out those moments so that you understand your pieces better.